Hey guys, what's up? This is FHabs and this is Minecraft. Well, here on my server, we have now officially updated thanks to Bucket finally getting their button gear. I'm just kidding, it's been like a day or two. Finally 1.5, the server is now in 1.5 with all the 1.5 stuff here on the server. Basically, there's a couple things, and I'll get to that later. But first, don't mind this gigantic sculpture of modern art. Hey, what's up? It's definitely not what you were thinking. It's just modern art. Get your mind out of the gutter. Anyway, on to a different subject. Here's a giant 1.5 that I created using new 1.5 materials. If you haven't heard about them yet, this is the use of quartz, and it's different quartz forms. And this is the block of redstone that I have in my inventory here. Now let's go over quartz real quick. As you can see down here, all the way at the bottom, you have this nether quartz ore, which obviously is found in the nether. It is the first nether ore that is put into the vanilla Minecraft game. A different incentive to get you into that, and he's jumping around me, and that's weird. Anyway, so you mine it, and you can get this, the nether quartz. Now, nether quartz is to use to craft stuff like this, which I'll get into later. But you can also craft it into block of quartz, just 4 in the crafting table, or in your inventory crafting space, and you can get the block of quartz. Now, then from the block of quartz, you put 3 on the bottom, just like any other thing to make a quartz slab. And you put that slab on top of another slab to get chiseled quartz block, just like you would get a chiseled sandstone block. And to make these pillars of quartz, which you can see in the gigantic one there, you just put 2 quartz blocks on top of each other, and that would create it. And then stairs is obviously 6 quartz blocks, just like any other kind of stairs you make. Now these redstone blocks is just bye. Okay. Anyway, so the redstone blocks are created obviously by 9 redstone, because everybody hates having so much redstone. It takes up a huge amount of space in their chests and everything. So now we get to compact it, but that's not the only use of the block of redstone. Another use is it actually has a redstone charge. So instead of using torches, you can now use the block of redstone, which I believe is about the same or more charge than a redstone torch. I'm not exactly sure about that, but it kind of looks that way. So on to the next little feature here, the dog over there. You can now name containers like this chest. I've named it private stuff. Obviously you can see that it's actually there when you open the chest. Don't mind that one, sorry. Anyway, so another thing that's really cool and useful, now that it's nighttime, that's really good, is you can name mobs. So if we just look at this, and name this all with an anvil, by the way. You have Bones, Bones 2, and Paco. So we're going to have to spawn them. There's Bones, Bones 2, and there's Paco. So you can see they actually have their name over them when you hover your pointer over them. So it's Bones, Bones 2, and there's Paco. So it's really cool. I'm just going to kill them all right here. I think you saw our Butcher. No, it's Butcher. I'm sorry. Need to know my own commands. Anyway, here's Paco. Nice Paco. So that is a really cool feature. Now, if you want to have cool names, I know Hypixel, who made the Herobrine map and the Zombie Survival map, also made a Wither Challenge map that uses the 1.5 and uses named mobs. So it's really cool and really useful, especially for venture maps. So now we're going to head over to the Pixel World, because I found something a little interesting there. And I'll explain it when I get over there. But let's just go there now and check out what's going on. Alright, so it's over here. You can see all the light. Let's make it daytime real quick so we can see everything. If it wants, there we go. Took it a while. So anyway, there's a sign here that says, "Cook it yourself chicken and stuff in that right chest." The chest on the right. Whoa. You guys see that? That was cool. Anyway, so I guess we'll just cook ourselves some chicken, even though it's pork chops. What's going on? Whoa. Whoa. Whoa! What is that? That's TNT. Why is there TNT there? Oh, what? Whoa. Alright guys, well, that was a little cool Rube Goldberg machine that I just kind of created in my spare time. Let's just go ahead and nip that up. And let's go and take that out. And then, well, I guess we'll eat some pork chops when this is done. But anyway, this is using almost all of the new redstone features in this new update. I believe, yes, okay. Just making sure of something real quick. Anyway, so let's start over here with this chest that I took the pork chops and coal out of. It's actually a trap chest. You can notice it just barely by a little red ring that's not around your usual chests. You can tell it's a trap chest. So it actually sends a redstone signal out the back when it's opened, and that's powering this piston, which pushes this glowstone or redstone lamp. Sorry, my bad. Up, and it's touching this, which is a daylight sensor. And since it's daytime, it's powering a redstone signal to the block below it. So when I activate this chest, pushes that up, touches that, which powers the lamp. So that's how that's working. Now, and the next feature of the redstone update is this redstone comparator. And you notice that this furnace is actually giving off a signal. Because I have this here, it's actually giving off a pretty powerful signal depending on the number of items you have inside it. It actually took 2 stacks to get it this far. 2 stacks of 64 to get it this far. So that's the comparator can give a signal from I believe furnaces. I know the chests work. I'm not sure if jukeboxes work. They might, but I'm not sure. There's a lot of stuff that does work. I believe enchantment tables and ender chests do not work, but I could be wrong on that. So now this is going up here and obviously powering this piston, knocked a redstone torch off, which dropped into this new item, which is called the hopper. And the hopper basically is activated by dropping something on top of it. It goes into the hopper, and then these hoppers obviously travel into this hopper, which drops it into the chest here. You can see they ended up in the chest. And it's really cool. You can use this for so many different ways to store stuff and to sort things and etc. I'm not going to get into entire details and show you different ways you can do that, because that would take way too long, because there's so many different ideas. And there are other people you can go out and check. So anyway, so this just shows you that the chest can power the comparator. So because there's one, I put that in there. Okay, one minute. Let's drop one in there. Boom. There we go. Powers the comparator, which powers this new item, which is called the dropper. Now it looks like a dispenser, but it has a little triangle instead of a circle. Now basically, this drops stuff like the name suggests. So instead of a dispenser which shoots things out, it'll just drop them. So if you had, let's say, a potion or an arrow, instead of splashing the potion at somebody or shooting the arrow at somebody, it just drops the item. So that's what this is used for. This is good for adventure maps if you want to give them arrows instead of shoot it at them, or if you want to give them potions, etc. with the droppers. So that's really cool that way. Anyway, so this new item that drops the item on this, which is a weighted pressure plate. There are 2 different weighted pressure plates. There's the light and the heavy. Now basically, this works as a normal pressure plate, except instead of it being activated when you walk on it, it only activates if an item is dropped on it. So, and the redstone signal it gives off is increased by the number of items you have on it. I believe these, the light pressure plates, which are made by 2 gold, the heavy pressure plates are made by 2 iron. The light ones increase every 4 items you place on them, while the heavy ones increase every stack of items you place on them. So that can definitely determine in adventure maps, if you have a certain amount of items that you need to drop down a hole or something, that can determine that you have all these items. So a lot of these things definitely are able to use mostly in creative, I'd assume, and in making adventure maps and stuff. And then now this powers this over here, where I'm going to get this new cart out. You saw the minecart with TNT is new cart type. So it powered this, and that pushed this along here, and that went over here and ran over the detector rail, and that is the activator rail. It's a new rail. Let's get. Oops, sorry, blew myself up there. The activator rail. So what that does is basically it activates the TNT in the minecart only when it has a redstone signal. So that's why I needed the detector rail there. And as you could see, a little change here is that this stayed here. Even though the TNT blew up, this didn't get blown up with it. Obviously, because you want the tracks to stay there, they made that so that obviously the blocks below it also had to stay there. That is also a new update that they did. So that's enough with my little Rube Goldberg machine here. So I'm just going to go quickly over anything that I missed. I have a list to my left, so I'm going to go down it and see if I missed anything. There's a new command. There's a few new commands that they have. My server actually doesn't have it because I think it's something wrong with Bukkit. Maybe Bukkit didn't do it yet. It could be messing with plugins, etc. But in survival, in single player, you can do this. There's two new commands. There's a command called /scoreboard that basically tracks any kind of stats you can have. So you can set it where it tracks how many kills you have, how many mob kills, how many player kills, how many deaths you have, etc. Also, it can set teams. So it actually can set PvP for certain teams. This only works in multiplayer, obviously. So you can have it where you have gold team and blue team. Members on gold team can't hit other members of gold team, but they can hit blue team members and stuff. And also the scoreboard keeps track of the team's stats as well. Now the second command is effect, and that is basically what it sounds like. It gives you the effect of a potion, basically, and you can change like the intensity of it, of how good it works. Let's see, let's go for another one. Also, MC Edit, you can do a lot more stuff with effects and powers. You can also stack mobs now with MC Edit, and that's really interesting. So you can have like a minecart on a bat, and you can fly around on a bat, and then minecart on a minecart. It's really messed up, but it is fun to play around with. Let's see, anything else? There's a couple inventory management changes. You can now drag and place items over slots, and you can do a lot of more stuff that you wouldn't normally do that I can't really demonstrate because I don't know too much how to do it. But it seems like it's going to make it easier for us to do manage our inventory, not fiddle around with it too much. Texture packs are new. They are no longer actually, let me just quickly say that, they're no longer in the main menu. They're actually under the options here. Texture pack is right down here. So they moved that. And also another factor with the texture packs is that they have separate images for each block and item, and can have animations now. So I guess that's good for people who like to build texture packs. Smooth lighting has 3 settings now, apparently. None, minimal, and maximum. So that helps you guys that don't have great computers. I don't have a terrific computer, but I have semi-smooth lighting on. I have Optifine, so I actually have a percentage rather than just those 3 settings. More detailed death messages is an interesting one because I love things like heroic death and everything. Don't have it on the server yet. I'll get that updated, but for now it's just a regular Minecraft ones. And I'll give you an example of how more detailed it is. Earlier today, Aaron was AFK in spawn, and I changed his game mode, obviously, and I punched him into the fire, and he burnt to death. But instead of just saying he burned to death in flames or something like that, it said he burnt to death while grappling with Evhabs. So I actually can tell you a little bit more detail of how they died. Oh, he didn't just die in fire. He was fighting with somebody, and then he was pushed into fire, and then he died or something. So that's definitely more interesting. Mobs are now actually a little bit more difficult in hard mode. You can definitely see with the skeleton. I'm not going to show you now because I don't have time. But anyway, so skeletons, they actually fire more rapidly as you approach them. So that's really cool. And zombies, I believe, do more damage, I think, in hard mode. There's so many bug fixes. I'm not even going to try to go over them all. So don't ask me to. There's just quite a lot. One little, I don't know if it's a bug or anything, but I'm not going to do it here, but for the TNT stuff, you can make the ring or whatever. There we go. And you can put so many TNT carts on that, and you can blow them up, and it'll make like an atomic bomb, and it's ridiculous. If you want to troll your server host, go ahead and do that. If you're a server host, don't tell people about this, because you don't want that happening. I don't want it happening. So, just something interesting that I learned while going and studying some of this update a bit. And obviously the last one, they removed Herobrine. It's funny, they do it every time. Oh look, our pork chops are done. Let's eat this. Pull out there. And then there goes the signal because there's nothing in the furnace anymore. So that has been 1.5 news. But if I just quick go over here to this list, they're already coming out with 1.1, 1.51, 0.1. 0.1, 0.5, 0.5, 0.1. Okay, 1.5.1. And they have a snapshot out already, apparently. And these are the details of the snapshots. I also have a list over here on this. They have a couple of, it's mostly fixes, obviously. The Ender Dragon can now still grief stuff like cobblestone and chests, even if mob griefing is turned off. So the Ender Dragon can still break stuff, so don't just willy-nilly spawn him. Let's see, a couple of, looks like, stitching on polygon edges and stuff. It seems some little lighting glitches and etc. have been fixed. Hopper doesn't try to place items from other slots if unavailable from first. That is now fixed. So if it wouldn't be able to drop it in from here, it can still drop it in from here. Say the chest is full, but there's not a full stack of this, but there is of this. It used to not drop this down, even though there's space for it, but now it does. So that's fixed. Enchanted books can now be combined to make more powerful enchantments. So if you add a power 1 and power 2, you get power 2. Or power 1 and power 1, you get power 2. You can't do power 2 and power 1, unfortunately. You'd have to do power 2 and power 2 to get power 3. So that's how that one works. Let's see, fire used to not show on snow. Actually, I just forgot about something. Snow can now be placed in Legacy Creative, and you can make as many layers as you want, as high a layer of snow you want. I thought this was really cool because I used to want to be able to place snow. I know everybody else did, so I think this one actually reminded me of that. So anyway, fire doesn't show on 8-layered snow and Hopper. That is now fixed, so that's good. Sorry, I meant the Ender Dragon thing. My bad. They can't do that. These are all bugs that are fixed. I'm reading this wrong. So they cannot. If gamer mob griefing is set to false, they cannot break stuff. So that's good. Alright, let's see. Anything else interesting? Falling blocks, they had a glitch with that, like sand. It used to look like it was falling from a block higher than it was actually. That is now fixed. Paintings popping out and cannot being placed. That's also fixed. Don't know if you've ever had that happen. I haven't. But that is now fixed. A couple other bug fixes. It's a basic bug fix update right after the major one came out, so it's really nothing to be surprised about. So that's it for this Minecraft 1.5 update video, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned a lot. If you didn't, go ahead and watch some other people, so maybe you'll understand better with them. I did my best, so thanks for watching, guys. Come back for more Minecraft videos. I know we're going to have some. There's a lot of stuff I still need to record. And give me a thumb up in the up direction if you like this video. And goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.